So the concept of ribbon flowers came from when I made my mom some on Mother's Day, or no, actually I made them for her on Valentine's Day, and they were really, really cute. And I was like, oh, like imagine if I could sell these because I realized like I was kind of good at it.
Hello, and welcome back to the Voice for You podcast, where we empower the leaders of today and tomorrow. I'm your host, Jeshwant Vana,
I'm Aditya Singh.
our other
Misha
host,
Situ.
and today we're joined by a young leader in our community. With a passion for business and law, she has shown how capable she can be in any field. As a U.S. Senator representing Washington at Girls Nation, she represents the perspective that youth bring, while also serving as the party chair for the winning presidential candidate this past conference. She also serves as Washington DECA's Area 5 President and Vice President of Marketing, leading over 1,000 students across the area through various business tactics, and also is the founder of Voices Unmuted, with the goal of amplifying youth voices and advocating for child safety. On the side, she also is a successful business owner with Flowers X Misha. Leading her community through business, law, and advocacy, she is Miss Misha Situ. How are you doing today, Misha?
Pretty good myself. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. Today is like obviously I can see that it's kind of raining out there for you guys. It's cloudy over here. I don't think I've seen the sun in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's actually been so dark and so cold for so many days.
Zero UV every single day.
Telling you, it's the weather that December brings. I mean, I love the month of December, but I hate the weather drop. I hate it.
Me too.
Like it
Does
goes from
Tennessee? Sorry.
yeah.
Does Tennessee get any snow?
Sometimes, like a couple years ago or like last year, it like
Really?
snowed a lot. Yeah, it snowed a whole lot. It snowed sometimes, definitely.
I remember 5 years ago, COVID year, it snowed for 2 weeks straight.
Oh, yeah.
That's the most snow I've ever seen. And
Oh.
unfortunately, it was during COVID, so there was really no school cancellation because everyone was locked at home.
I think it was last year we missed like a whole week of school, or 2 years ago.
I think it
Like a
was
Oh my
whole
2 years
week.
gosh.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously,
Washington.
yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Washington cancels schools over like 1 inch of snow. So it's like Washington, like, because we're really bad with snow for some reason. Like, do not let us drive in snow.
You guys are far
Really?
up north with 1 inch. That's it.
Yeah, because it's like, or at least like where I'm from, I know it's like in Edmonds and like up north, it's like a lot less common to miss school over that. But like where I live, 1 inch of snow, school's gone.
Be really nice. Does it snow a lot?
Not really. There was one year we got snow in like April, which was really weird. Yeah.
Mm.
You're saying all of this like we don't get school canceled just because there's
No,
like
but
we've
we're in Tennessee. We're like in the South. We're the South.
but we get school canceled just because they say there's gonna be snow, and the next day there's
Okay,
no
but we're the
snow, and
South.
we.
You're acting like it's crazy. We're the South. It's supposed to be like sunshine and rainbows.
That's true.
I mean, when you say South, I don't. We like mid. I mean, we're the mid South for a
I
reason.
think Tennessee's considered like the South, right? Or is it not? Is it like mid something?
Honestly, could not tell you where Tennessee is on a map, but I think it's the South region.
Yeah, it's like in the South. I think it's in the South. I'm pretty sure.
It's Florida,
Like east.
Yeah, yeah.
Georgia. I think that's Georgia.
That's Georgia. I think we're like on top of Georgia.
Okay, I see.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a very, very long drive, but
Yeah. Like to
what that?
Nashville's like how many hours is Nashville? 5 hours? 6 hours?
No, yo, what is 3?
Oh my, I'm losing
Yo,
weight. So
it's 6 from here to Chattanooga, bro. What the heck?
that's what I was thinking. Chattanooga.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
But
a
you
whole
know,
state.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's a long stay, and obviously, going from one end to the other, it takes a sec. Takes a sec. But before we get more into the interview, Misha, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your hobbies, your passions, and who you are as a person?
So my name is Misha Situ. I recently just turned 18 and I go to Cambridge High School. I think one of my favorite things to do is actually make my little ribbon flowers. I know it's like a business, and some people don't enjoy the business they run. I really enjoy the business I run. I kind of have slowed down on business because it hasn't been really close to like Valentine's Day or Mother's Day. But I recently started getting orders again for Christmas, and that makes me really excited. I'm working on this like Hello Kitty bouquet, and I think it's really, really cute. So I'm excited about that. And I'd say one of my other passions is just writing in general. I have this Silver Key Award from Scholastic, which I thought was really cool because I wrote about Sonder, not the music artist, but like the word. I think it's something that I really like implement into what I do. It's basically like, do you know what Sonder is?
I know the
Mhm.
music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so basically, my interpretation of Sonder is everyone. So basically, it's the realization that everyone has a life as full and as equal as your own. So it's like, I know we always have this concept of like NPCs, side characters, and whatnot, but really, like every single person you see has a life as full as your own. And it's like where they're the main character. And I feel like that feeling that I realized is something that I choose to lead with a lot of the times. So, yeah. Is there anything else that I should say?
I mean, it's your hobbies, your passions. I mean,
And
who you are as a person, obviously.
obviously, something else I'm obviously very passionate about is DECA. I started it around my sophomore year, and my sophomore year, honestly, I didn't even place at like regionals. But then my next year, I at least placed at regionals, and I made area president. I think the thing that made me really fall in love with DECA though was my sophomore year. I met this girl, or yeah, this girl that was running. Her speech just really inspired me, and it really touched me. And I remember the weekday after our conference, I went to my advisor. I was like, I will be the area president next year and it's going to happen. And we made it happen. So I think that's really cool.
Personally, I can relate to that too because I serve as Tennessee FPLA's state vice president, and my story is pretty much like similar to yours. You know, seeing people on the like that was my first conference was my sophomore. Yeah, it was my sophomore year. Yeah, it was my sophomore year, and just seeing the state on the team on stage and speaking so confidently. I told my advisors. Oh, I didn't tell my advisors. My advisors didn't know. I told my friends, "You're
Mhm.
gonna see me on that stage next year."
Yes,
And I mean, I believe if you put your mind to it, then anything can happen.
exactly. Yeah, and obviously it happened for us. So that's really cool.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously, DECA and FBLA are pretty similar too, in like the business aspects too. So it's a lot of the overlapping stuff. Have you met any of the Tennessee DECA officers by chance? Do you
Oh,
know?
I think I have actually. I don't remember her name exactly, but I know I have her Instagram.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we're mutuals. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Anjali? Was that her
maybe.
name? Maybe.
Double check because we did like this ICDC, which is like our
Yeah.
internationals. So we
Yeah.
basically had like this state officer training all together. So we obviously met a lot of people from different states. And I'm pretty sure I met a girl from Tennessee and New York. I know for sure New York, but Tennessee, like I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, with our NLC, our nationals, we didn't have all that, which I'm kind of jealous about because, like, I'm telling you, every other CTSO had something like that at their nationals except us. But, we still made good friends and memories from it too. So definitely 100%, 100%.
Alright, I guess we'll move on to the icebreaker. Yeah, so it's just something to like, get let us know you, let the viewers know you. I heard a lot about like your flower business and like I don't really know much about that. You want to like expand on that because like that actually sounds like kind of cool.
So basically, the first time I ever made like the ribbon flowers. So the point of them is because like I always got really sad when my flowers died because they last like 2 weeks. So the concept of ribbon flowers came from when I made my mom some on Mother's Day. Or no, actually, I made them for her on Valentine's Day, and they're really really cute. And I was like, oh, like imagine if I could sell these because I realized like I was kind of good at it. So I took that concept and I kind of was like, well, people would obviously pay for flowers that lasted forever. So I did continue to build on that. And I got my first orders through my workplace or my old workplace, which was Merrill Gardens. And one of
Mm.
the cooks there, what did he order for me? I think he ordered a bouquet for his grandma and it was about a 7 count. It was really cute. It was my first time trying out different flowers too. So I can do like I'm currently working on tulips, but mostly I do like roses, plumerias, dahlias, ooh, sunflowers. I've done daisies. I've tried doing lilies, but they didn't look that good, so I did not sell them.
Wait, what's your favorite flower?
I think my favorite flower is plumerias or dahlias. I think both of them are really pretty, and I really like making them too.
I actually don't know either of them. Wait, that's actually really nice.
This man was expecting the basic like rose,
Yeah, I
daisy,
was
or
expecting a
something.
rose. I don't know those flowers at all. I'm not really.
Roses are beautiful too, but
What's
Yeah,
your
I'm
favorite
really.
kind of flower?
My favorite flower?
Your favorite flower?
Well, I don't know any flower. I might just have to go with the basic rose. I don't know any. I know the
hmm,
rose. I know the
good choice,
sunflower.
good choice.
Thank you. Wait, what's your favorite flower?
My favorite flower? Low key. Like back in the day, I used to bump Sunflower by Post Malone a lot.
Mm,
So, but obviously, all flowers are there for a reason. We like all flowers equally.
Yeah.
actually, just thought of this. I remember my favorite flower is actually a lotus flower.
Oh,
That's
I know that
valid.
one.
Yes.
That is
I know.
valid.
Yes.
That is
That one is
valid.
beautiful. I made
That
it
is
out of
valid.
ribbon one or like a couple of times, and they're so beautiful out of ribbon. I was like, yes, absolutely.
That is valid. I it
I
just
actually, I
reminds me
actually
of
do like.
home.
Exactly. See,
Yeah.
you know that flower, so it's okay.
Yeah, I actually like that one too. Actually, you know what? I don't like the rose that much anymore.
I was about to say, if you don't know what a lotus is, you're kind of uncultured. Would I be
No, no,
surprised? Nah.
I actually do know what a lotus is.
I
That's good.
describe what a lotus is right now.
It's like a lily pad almost, but then like there's a flower, there's like a white flower on top of it, and then there's like there's like green stuff in the middle. Is that it? That's it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Okay,
much.
okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Pretty much. I was just trying to catch you. I was trying to catch him lacking. That's all.
No, no, I,
That's
I
all.
like have the picture in my head, but like I don't know if I described it bad. He's like, does
Yeah,
it not like float on the top of the water, or am I going crazy?
It basically
It
does,
does?
yeah.
it does.
Okay,
It
okay, yeah,
does.
yeah, yeah.
Don't worry, I'll give you a cookie for that tomorrow. Don't worry.
Yes.
But, obviously, you are a current senior right now, as you mentioned. And with being a current senior, you have gone through pretty much, well, technically 3.5 years of school, but pretty much four. Because let's be so real, who counts second semester of senior year, anyways? That's pretty much just like, yeah. I'm personally done with school myself. So, but obviously, you're pretty much done with high school and you are looking into college next year. So, what does that include for you?
So right now, my ED is to Cornell ILR. Really hoping, really praying, hoping that decisions come out soon. But the reason I really align with it is because that it has business, economics, law, and policy kind of all into one major. And ILR is known for only having that industrial and labor relations major. And it's something like I've been working since I was 15 and a half. I started as a hostess at this restaurant, then transferred over to a server. And then I started at my recent job, Miniso, which I really like Miniso. It's a lot better than food places, in my opinion. So I've had a lot of fun just exploring different things that I'm passionate about. I was at my last job for about like 2 years, and I ended up as the dining room lead. So basically, when my manager wasn't there, I was in charge, which ended up being a lot of stress for a little 16-year-old me, but we got through it.
Talking about what your future entails, what you have planned for your
That's right.
future. Yeah,
So I actually kind of have this all planned out. So I plan on doing AFROTC, which is Air Force ROTC, while I'm at Cornell.
valid.
And for these 4 years, I'm also going to apply to their JAG program, which is Judge Attorney General. From that, I'm hoping to get a full ride to their law school and do the 3 years in law school. And then and then because of the contract I signed, because they're giving me a full ride, I'm going to go serve in the Air Force for 4 years as a Judge Attorney General, basically studying military law. But I plan on doing that for 20 years, actually, so I can get lifetime pension, right? And then by the time I get lifetime pension, I'll have an income to be able to run for like local offices, state offices, and then eventually federal offices, hopefully. So
Dang,
that's the dream.
dang.
Wow, wow, wow. Wait, that is so bland.
They're big dreams, but I feel like they're possible.
No, if you
Yeah.
dream big,
Th-
then you achieve big.
Exactly.
I couldn't tell you
God
what I'd
dang.
be doing in 10 years. Wow, that is so
Man,
that's actually so amazing to hear. Someone has their life, like,
Thank
fully
you.
planned out.
that's crazy.
Thank
Like
you.
Yeah,
no digs at my co-host here, but just last year he switched from
so
pre-med
crazy.
to
Yeah,
engineering
I watched it,
because he
yep,
got
yep, yep.
traumatized.
It's
Oh my
real though,
god.
because last year I actually wanted to be an occupational therapist, and this
Yeah,
year,
see?
or I've always been interested in like business and law, obviously, but I was like, occupational therapy is easier though. But then I'm like, nah, like,
Nah,
gotta go with law, you know?
exactly.
No, I was gonna
Exactly.
do medical, and then I realized, like, it's low-key a lot. Like, there's this one guy who was he trauma center? He was the trauma center guy, right? Jesh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was and he was just talking about, like, how crazy the whole thing is. I was like, "This is not" like, low key, I'm scared of blood. Like, I hate cutting into
Yeah.
people, I hate seeing all that, so I was like, "Oh, I don't know if this is for me." So I had to get
I'm
out of
telling
there.
you, for the longest time, this man was dead set on becoming a family doctor.
I was not
Like dead
yeah,
set.
family doctor. I wasn't dead set, I was like, "This is probably what I'm gonna do." But, like, it changed.
It
It
was
probably will
Yeah.
funny.
change
It
again.
was funny
When I
too.
get to college, it might change again. You never know.
Yeah, I honestly was never really good at science classes, so I kind of knew like I could not do pre-med or anything like math related. That was just not my thing.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. Like if you asked me during the summer this past year, I would have said I'm trying to go into biomedical engineering, and then I took calculus, and I realized I don't want to take another calc class in my life.
Yeah.
I was just a lot better at I was always a little bit better at history, so
Me too.
so I switched over to public health and health law, you know, trying to obviously not as planned out. I think I have some idea in mind, but just go with the flow at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to talk about your future plan?
But yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go get my engineering degree, and we'll see where it goes from
Mm.
there. Just that laughing so hard. Yeah, that's funny, right? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
What's your guys' top university then?
Let's
Mine
you
is
want to go
Georgia
first?
Tech. Like that's where I really want to go.
Okay.
Especially because it's like so
To be
close to
honest,
home.
Yeah.
yeah. To be honest, I'm cool with anywhere at this point, just wherever the wind takes me.
I'm not gonna talk
Just
about how you're the
I mean,
biggest Duke fan, the biggest Duke fan.
no, but I don't want to jinx anything. So just wherever the wind takes me at this
Yeah.
point. I wish I ED'd to Duke, but I got too scared. So it's
I
a
knew.
lot.
Yeah. I knew I had my heart set on Cornell. It was like for me, it's like Cornell or nothing. So
No, that was me
fingers
for the
crossed.
longest time. Yeah, with Duke, that was me for the longest time, and then I started watching more videos like you ED, you might regret it, and I'm like, I haven't even visited Duke's campus,
Yeah,
so
that's my concern with Cornell too. But
yeah,
Duke, I've seen like the TikTok videos. Their food is supposed to be really good.
it's the best. It's the best in the nation.
Yeah.
Is
So
it actually
I know I'm
what
gonna be
Duke?
eating well. Yeah, yeah. You're not switching over from Georgia Tech to Duke.
No,
I'm
I'm
gonna
no, I'm
kick
not
you.
going to Duke. Actually, no, I might go and then take your spot. That might happen.
With all these
Mm,
ambitions, there's obviously a lot of work that has backed up it
of
with
course.
your roles, such as your many different roles, a part of the American Legion Auxiliary, as mentioned, which includes party chair, U.S. Senator representing the state of Washington, and a preliminary officer. So, what did each of those roles consist of, and how was your time a part of
Okay,
Girls
so
Nation?
basically, Evergreen Girls State is kind of known as a JROTC thing. Same with Boys State. It's kind of known like military brats go there, military people go there. I heard of it because I was just scrolling online and trying to see like summer programs I could attend. Because honestly, I didn't really like lock in till the end of sophomore year while I was like, oh my God, look at these people with all these extracurriculars. Like, what am I doing, right? So that's when I started researching on Girls State. I was like, okay, well, I'll apply here, right? I applied there not really knowing what it was, other than that it was like a mock government program. And honestly, I was so excited when I got in because I was like, "Oh, my first like little prestigious summer camp, this is gonna be so much fun, right?" And so for my role as preliminary officer, I ran within my city, which is Baker County. Yeah, it was Baker County. So my girl state, it's kind of different depending on what state you're from. So we had four different counties. It was Baker, Adams, Mount Rainier, and they're gonna hate me, but I can't remember the last one. But so it's basically a bunch of different mountains in Washington, and I was Mount Baker, and I really loved my group of girls. And for a preliminary officer, basically what that meant was that you got a vote in choosing who got what role, if that makes sense, or like who we were gonna nominate from our city to run. So it's like when you're running for city council, I guess, and you're kind of nominated for it and nominated for different roles. That's kind of how the process went. For preliminary officer, I gave a speech and then they voted and I won. I was really happy about that, you know. And then so basically for US Senator, I actually didn't know going in if I was really gonna run. I thought about running for governor instead because that comes with a $1,000 scholarship. But in the long run, I ended up being like, oh, well, you know, it'd be really cool to go to Washington, D.C. for free for a week. And I'm actually wearing my Girls Nations sweatshirt because I love repping them. But, so basically, there was like four different rounds of speeches, and you basically had not even a day to write in between them. They're about 3 to 8 minute long speeches, so it kind of depended on what you wanted to talk about. I kind of reformulated my speeches throughout, but I didn't write completely about a new topic because I really focused on being a very personable person. I think when people meet me, like their first impression of me is that I'm not a very professional person. I think I'm very human and I'm someone that's like very relatable because I can't be like, okay, for this interview, we're going to talk about this and this and this. I'm not really that kind of person. I'm a very like just human person. And I
Okay.
let that show throughout when I talk to people. And we did this one thing called whistle stop campaigning, which basically there's two groups, Federalists and Nationalists. I went to go talk to the Federalists and they asked me all these different bunch of questions. I remember this one question was about like climate change or something. And honestly, I'm not the most like well informed when it comes to environment stuff, but I decided like instead of just like lying about it, I was kind of like, I'm sorry, I'm not the most educated on this topic, to be honest, but I would love to talk to you about it later. And I really did go up to the girl afterwards and like ask her to educate me on it. So I think what really made me stand out as an applicant in general was just my honesty and just like being there for people, I guess, because I didn't try to focus on like the cliche or the niche parts of it. I just focused on really getting real with people. And I was shocked when I got US Senator because my name was the first one to be called. And it was like, I was genuinely shaking when I got it because I was like, that was like probably the most pivotal point of my life, to be honest. Like, thus far, probably the most pivotal moment. Because it was like, I just never saw myself in a role like that. And when I got to Washington, D.C., like it really hit me that this is a really prestigious summer program. And I was so shocked to be there. And then when I ran for party chair, I did this thing where it was like a callback thing. So I went nationalist and like so I was a nationalist, right? So I said
Yeah.
nation, yeah. You get what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
And so when I ran, so there was like seven boards, right? So there was seven different party chairs and I got the party convention chair, right? So basically, what this meant is that I ran the rally in like the convention to help our president win, which Girls Nation president did win under my ruling. Just gotta say, and it was really fun. We came out with different cheers. We came out with the decorations and whatnot, and it was so much fun. And honestly, when my president won, I actually started crying because it was just such a like special moment to me. I just felt like so connected to them. And I think that's a really cool part about Girls Nations and Girls State is that like the connection you build with those people are irreplaceable. And I think like not even the role that I got as US Senator, but the friends I made were so much more important than me than just like being like, oh yeah, I went to a prestigious competition all these amazing people and they're all so successful and Ivy League bound. Like they're amazing.
Definitely. Definitely. What was, in your opinion, the most creative chant that you came up with for your winning president?
I need to think. We I thought we had a pretty I thought we had it was the carnival one. So we basically the TikTok Riz party and how they did like the carnival
Yeah.
thing. So we basically like there was a group of us that got onto the stage and started like rocking back and forth and then like when they said I don't remember the actual lyrics, but when they said the carnival lyrics, we replaced it with our own and said like,
Yeah.
"Go vote for our president," blah blah blah, and it actually was it was really good because So basically, the nationalists and the federalists are split up perfectly evenly. So if all people voted for one side and the other nationalists all voted for another side, we'd have a split tie. So all we
Exactly.
needed was at least one person from the federalist side onto our side, and we got two of them. So
So it did mention that you only beat them by 4. You won that. So if you flipped 2 from your side, from their side to yours, how did
if I'm remembering correctly, I think there was okay because there was two people, two girls from each state, right?
Yes.
So that's about 100 girls in the room and 50 per party. So
Uh-huh.
basically, it's either we won by 2 people or 4 people, and I believe we
Yeah.
got 2 people from the Federalist side to vote for the Nationalists, and that's how we won.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, so when you so there like you said there's 2 from each state. So is it one nationalist and one federalist for each
Yes.
state? Okay.
Yeah. So they
Okay.
kinda just put you in randomly, to be honest. My co-senator, or not my co-senator, my other senator, her name is AJ. Really miss her actually. But so basically she was a federalist and she actually ran for vice president and made it to like the final round. It was her. So you run together, you run as a vice president and president, and then you run as a vice president and president. So you run together. And what I heard from a lot of people actually is that they wanted to vote for different candidates for president and vice president that were from like opposite parties. But you couldn't do that. Just vote for one
Yeah.
party.
I know, yeah, because I know how big of a deal like being elected Girls Nation or Boys Nation president. I got lucky enough to sit down with Morgan Johnson, who served as 2024 Boys Nation president. It was
Wow.
one of my first interviews, and it was a lot. He was told us a lot of stories, and that just made me realize that because when I heard of Boys State for the first time, I went on the website. I'll be dead honest, it looked like a scam. Like I
I saw it too, because there was barely any information on the website. I was like, "What is going on?"
it just looks so clunky, and I was like, this is like, like those NSHSS type. I
Mhm.
thought it was one of those, and I'm like, I don't want my money stolen.
Yeah.
I don't really trust that much. So, yeah, but obviously I know like Girls Nation is a big deal. Did you have to like earn more like votes? So obviously like are you assigned that at the girls state level?
Yes, you are. So basically, I think there was 3 or 4 rounds if I remember right. So I started off in my county getting voted in, and after my county, I went to talk to the federal list, and the federal list voted for their top 4 candidates, I believe. And then from there, I believe we ran again in the Federalist group, and top 2 were voted, and then from those 4, only 2 were chosen. And that's when
Okay.
you would talk to the entire girls' state, and they would vote for you.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes
And it was
sense.
a
What
lot of speeches.
I mean, obviously when you're running for that much, do you remember how many? Like more than 10, would you say?
I'm not exactly sure, but I would say like around 5 to 10 is
5 to
definitely.
10. 5
Yeah.
to 10. Okay. That speech writing is not for the weak of heart. That's for
Yeah.
sure. But, obviously you do have experience writing speeches because not only did you serve as a senator, but you also serve Washington DECA as its
Yes.
Area 5 DECA president and vice president of marketing. So how has I know for FBLA, our term is more than halfway done. So how has your term looked like so far? And what is the craziest story from any event that you've had with DECA so far?
So I got voted in January 18th, I want to say. I was okay, because the people I was running against honestly had a much more professional sign than me. They had it like all Canva layout printed out, print board, and I was like, I'm so losing. Like, oh my god, I'm cooked, right? Because mine, I handwrote everything and I wrote everything, and it was like a spin the wheel thing because my whole thing was with Misha Situ, your future's in view, because it kind of rhymes. So I
Yeah.
had like this spin the wheel to like determine your fortune, and I made 50 fortune tellers to give out, handmade, each one of them. It's really difficult, but we
Dang.
got through it. It was a lot of fun for me, so made it through. Um, anyways, back to what I was talking about. I think one of my favorite experiences have always been like the state officer leadership trainings, but also like recently we had our fall learning conference in the beginning of November, and there was like 2,175 people, I think. So it was a lot of people, and it was my first time speaking on stage actually. And, or yeah, it was my first time speaking on stage, and it was really nerve wracking, but I memorized my lines really early on, so I tried not to panic about that. I think because we have a lot of rehearsals leading up to our conferences, of course. So those rehearsals were like just all the time that I get to spend with my state officers honestly mean a lot to me. My other VP of marketing, Amanda Zing, she's such an amazing person. And I really love working with her because I see her more as not just like a co officer, but also more like almost like one of my best friends in DECA. Like, we're really like that. She's the Area 7 president, so she doesn't live too far from me. So we are lucky enough to be able to see each other in person at least once a month. And we also
Valid.
do the UW YEOC program together, which is youth executives in our community. So yeah, I have a lot of fun with her. I really like her. And I think just all the connections I've built in DECA just make it all worthwhile.
Definitely, definitely.
So on top of all this, you're also the founder of Voices Unmuted. What's the purpose behind like that nonprofit and like what do you do basically?
So, Voices Unmuted was kind of inspired by my own experiences. It's a little bit more personal, but for like 5 years, I was in like this child exploitation thing, and it was it put me in a really bad situation for about 5 years. And it lasted up until sophomore year, which is say didn't lock in till like the end of sophomore year. Because in junior year, I was kind of in and out of court, kind of like figuring things out and trying to like advocate for myself. And by the end of that, I was looking for my own like sources of healing, I guess, and I realized there isn't much support for people who gone through that and people who need healing. So I was like, if there's not one, then why wouldn't I make one? So it took me about a year to really start up the organization. Right now we're doing a lot of onboarding, so I haven't been posting as much, but we're kind of interviewing state leads, interviewing advocacy leaders, et cetera, et cetera. And we have this really cool event coming up soon actually where we're doing a kind of like a charity event with a local band, and then we're also gonna have it at like this little boba shop. It's a little like low key, but it's also like we're spreading a lot of awareness towards situations like that because it is like it's a lot more common than you expected. It's kind of like the online grooming thing where like I feel like it's just been so normalized nowadays, and the normalization of it I feel like comes from just not talking about the fact that it happens so much because I feel like you see these TikTok videos where like story time of how I got groomed at 14 years old, and I'm like this can't just be a normal thing we sit down and talk about, you know? I feel like there's a way to prevent this and to raise awareness for this. So one of my really important parts is just like getting more digital education out there and advocacy out there. I've actually started creating pamphlets to hand out at local libraries. That way parents are more informed about what can really happen. And I've also had we're international, so we're in about 15 countries right now. I've had people hang out flyers, and it's truly been so amazing to watch how this organization has grown, and especially with it being a quote unquote like niche topic, I feel like it's not niche enough to the point where we can't be talking about it. And it is like controversial and taboo, but I didn't want the tabooness of it to make me stop talking about it.
Definitely, definitely. That is a very big problem that we have in today's day and age. Oh, did
Yeah,
you
you
want to
don't
say
really hear a
something?
lot about it either. Like that's not like one of the
Exactly.
things people talk about.
Definitely, definitely. So, how, like, obviously, you said you were able to take this outside of the U.S. and make it international. So, how did you go along with that?
So luckily I got chosen for the Civics Innovator Fellowship actually, which is about like 300 students, I think, chosen internationally. And basically, it's a fellowship where we looked over like civic problems. So, say like your sidewalks are too small, or these are like simpler things, like AI innovation, stuff like that. And I signed up for it because I was just really interested in learning more about how our society runs and what you can really do to fix like homelessness crisis, housing crisis, et cetera, et cetera. And through this, there was this like little Slack channel called Cool Opportunities. And I posted my Voices Unmuted thing in there, and I ended up getting people from Mongolia, Turkey, Pakistan, India, China, Peru, a bunch of different countries. And it honestly like just shocked me how many people were really invested and interested in an opportunity like this. Cause like I said, it is like a little bit more taboo, and especially in countries like Asia, where it's like talking about something so taboo can be like controversial and almost dangerous in a sense. It was like kind of inspiring for me to see like we have multiple members from China, and that's shocking because China bans Google. So I don't even know how they accessed
Really?
it, but it was great.
They actually have Google Pen. I didn't know that.
Really? They have
I was
Google
recently just in China, so they banned like majority of American apps. Yeah.
Isn't YouTube
Really?
banned? I
Even
know.
TikTok's banned over there.
Yeah. Pretty sure TikTok's
Yeah.
banned in India too, right? Yeah, I think it is. I was over there last summer and
Yeah,
I
it's
watched TikTok.
Yeah. I had to use my VPN to access a lot of things.
Yeah, I didn't have a
yeah, I
VPN
was
back. I was just kind of sitting
yeah,
around.
Yeah. So I think it's really just about the connections you can make. I honestly like kind of accept any LinkedIn connection because I'm like, oh, like maybe I'll know this person later on. Like this is so cool, right? So that's why I probably have like 400 right now. So I think like posting about it a lot, like telling everyone I know about it, like it really helped with that.
definitely. I mean, if it weren't for LinkedIn, we wouldn't be sitting right here talking about
Exactly.
all this right now. So, I'm telling you, LinkedIn, it goes a long way, especially
Mhm.
reaching out to people and making those connections. Do you have a LinkedIn?
No, I don't. So I should
Yeah,
probably get
yeah.
on that. I know I should have made the LinkedIn a long. Actually, no, I might have one with just nothing on it.
Yeah, I remember seeing a video a long time ago saying like LinkedIn is the best way to reach out to professors and get like internships and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I got a LinkedIn, but obviously it's helped me a lot in the long run too with this too. And you know, with what you're doing with Voices Unmuted, it sounds a lot similar to what I envisioned going on with Voice for You when I started it back in April. Obviously, there's a lot of voices, especially youth voices that go unnoticed.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody is a leader at heart, whether it's doing stuff behind the scenes or being vocal about it,
Exactly.
So obviously, like I can 100%, connect to what you push for with Voices Unmuted and
Yeah.
the fact that you're able to grow it to a level that is international too is
Mm.
truly inspiring and, just really glad that we're able to highlight that and be a part of that journey as well too. If any collaborations or anything, I'd be so down. I'm just saying, I'm putting it
Love
out right
that.
now.
Yeah.
Be so down for sure, for sure. But along with Voices Unmuted, you did mention that you are also on the Association of Washington Student Leaders as marketing and branding committee lead. And a common theme that I see with you and your roles, other than obviously, business and law, is marketing. So where did you get this passion for marketing and how do you feel like it shaped you?
To be honest, I actually never took a marketing class till this year. So, but I always knew that I was just, maybe it's just because of what people have told me, but I'm a very marketable person. I think like a lot of people get stuck on the fact that you have to be so professional during an interview. They forget that the person interviewing them is also a person. So I think like for me, I always like keep that in the back of my head and keep my mind into like the fact that I just am I'm myself, and if you don't want to hire me, like that's not really my problem, you know? I also think definitely getting the role as vice president of marketing for Washington DECA really started getting me more invested in it. But I've also always taken a love for like social media marketing. I used to do like social media managing for different clubs in my schools. So I had a lot of fun doing that, and I've always enjoyed making social media posts. Even like if they weren't like super significant, I still really enjoyed doing it. So it's kind of that love for it. And I'm definitely considering if I knock on wood, if I don't go into Cornell, there
I
we go.
got you. I got you.
I'm thinking of majoring in political science and minoring in marketing. So we'll see how that works.
That's valid. That's valid. I mean, marketing is, in my opinion, a very important piece in life
Yeah,
in
it's so
general.
important. Marketing is used everywhere.
Exactly. I think it's also very useful as well, especially in the political science aspect. I think like just using it to obviously market myself, but also like make advertisements for myself, political campaigns and whatnot, all that fun stuff.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, as party chair, you have dealt with marketing yourself. You know, you're marketing your presidential candidate to get them
Exactly.
to vote, and then obviously there's others. And then obviously you have the flower business.
Mhm.
You got to market that. Nothing is successful without marketing, and
Exactly.
there's so many ways to market nowadays too with the internet and
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah, and I think I
Hard.
also started to realize, like, the backbone of everything I did had marketing involved in it, and so I was like, "Okay, well, looks like I'm doing marketing."
Exactly, exactly. And obviously, like you did mention, your personality, in your opinion, your personality is the type to not be super serious. And, that is, in my opinion, the most marketable person who just takes life easy, because that's what I believe I want to be like. So if you see someone else like that, you want to be like them, and that's the person that obviously you want someone that people want to relate to in
Exactly.
the end, for sure. For sure. But along with all of this, I noticed that you're also in the process of earning your real estate license in the
Yes.
state of Washington.
Yeah.
So, has real estate always been something you found interesting, or how did you is that just like a side hustle, or
In all honesty, it is kind of a side hustle, to be
that's
honest.
valid?
I've been taking classes for it, and it's like it's kind of like my plan B, I guess. If everything falls down, if everything goes wrong, I'll just be a real estate agent. Cause like I said, I'm a
Exactly.
marketable person. I can market houses. If I can market people, I can market houses. So that's kind of my thinking behind it.
I've been low key thinking about going to real estate myself. I looked at the state laws for Tennessee. Obviously, you
Yeah.
have to be 18. You did mention that you turned 18 recently. When was your birthday?
November 14th. But
Okay.
for the state of Washington, you can start like the actual real estate classes before you turn 18. You just can't take the test until you turn 18. So I did
Exactly, yeah.
exactly. So I finished the pre-licensing course and now I have to go take the test.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid. For us, my birthday's actually exactly a month after yours. Mine's is December 14th. So, but for us, you have to have your high school GED as well, for a high school
Yeah, we need
diploma.
that too.
Yeah, so I realized I'm not going to get that until May.
Yeah.
So, might as well start studying in January and then just keep on until May. Because
Yeah.
obviously it's like,
The good
oh,
thing
no.
for Washington is that once you pass the test, you have a year to actually get your real license. So I'm thinking like just finish the course, pass my test, and then once I get my high school diploma, then I get my actual license, to put it simply. So
Yeah.
that's the goal, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I feel like just real estate just as a side business, because I know there's like so many people I know that just do real estate, like not even as their main job, just as a
Yeah,
side, just because they like it, and it has worked it for them a lot.
Wait, for real estate, don't you
Exactly.
have to like
Other thing I
join
think is real estate.
like a group? Like, isn't there something in tennis or where we live? There's like Tri Lake Realtors, like a group of realtors. Is that a thing? Or is that
There is a group, yeah.
because like
there
one of
that
my
does exist, but at least from what I know, it's not required, but it's very like helpful.
yeah, because one of my friends he
Yeah.
does something like
Yeah, I
through
know.
Tri Lake, and that's where he gets all his houses. He's like, or how does getting houses work like in general as a
I
Honestly, I
mean,
haven't figured that part out.
it just you know people.
It's definitely about your connections.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%. It's definitely about the connections you have. I feel like that's a very big part. You don't really need to have that. You don't need to be a part of no group or anything, but
exactly.
the more people you know, the more likely, you're going to get people, cuz there's always going to be that one person that's always like, "Hey, I need a house. Could you help me?"
Exactly.
or something like that.
And
So,
especially like as a college student, think you're selling like one house, not even per month, but per year. And say it's like 500,000, you get like 3% off of that. That's at least like 5,000 something.
yeah.
Like, so
mm,
it's like, especially for a college student, just having that passive income, like, it's like, why not?
mm,
And think about it like this too. You keep doing it, once you leave college, your friends are going to start looking for houses. They're trying to
Exactly.
settle down. And
Exactly.
who they gonna go to? They're not gonna go to some random person. They're gonna go to their person that they've known for a
Exactly.
very long time.
Exactly.
I guess I was asking because like I was low key thinking of doing realtor or like doing that stuff too because I was like looking at it. I don't really know the rules, but I guess I was trying to do that too.
Yeah. I think it's a really cool I think it's a really good idea, honestly, because the reason that I wouldn't choose it just as my main career is just because, like, it can be, like, an unreliable source of income because 'cause you're
Yeah.
not guaranteed to sell a house every
Yeah,
month or
yeah.
something. So it's, like, it's always good to have, like so I feel like for me, that's why it's my fallout plan, like, everything goes wrong, I'll just be a realtor.
Yeah, because, like,
Yeah,
you're not always gonna have, like, a house to sell, you're not always gonna sell a house. But,
exactly.
like, I was thinking
And
of
the
doing it as,
thing
like, a
is
side hustle thing.
yeah, exactly. And it's also if you choose to go out of state, because obviously I want to go to New York, what I would do is I just do it over the summer that way. Or there's this thing called like, I think it's referrals, and you get a percentage of the sales just based off referrals. So if I still do that for Washington State, it's still applicable. I think there's a whole different process of getting your like real estate license to apply to a different state. So
Yeah, yeah.
probably not going to go through with that, but just like even just doing it over the summer is good for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, wait, what do you mean? So, like, you can refer a person back in Washington to a house?
So it's like you're referring a person to another agent, and
Uh,
then that agent gives you part of the cut.
oh, okay, 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 okay.
To put it in like the most simplest terms.
Mm. So, like, because, like, one of my friends, he does it, and, like, I don't really know how it works. I've like, asked him a couple of times because, like, I work at Lifetime as, like, a swim instructor. He, like, does it too. And I've asked him a couple of times, but I just wanna I just wanna kinda get to know more because, like, I've been looking at side hustles because, like, working a job is fun, but, like, I'm trying to break out of the matrix.
Exactly.
So, like,
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. But I think real estate is good because a lot of it, like I said, you need the marketing skills obviously because you
mhm,
have to market the houses, and
yeah.
that's why like I always see the TikTok videos where it's like, "Come sell this house with me" or "House tour," blah blah blah,
But yeah, I've seen
and I think
so house tours of,
exactly,
like,
and it's
those
like they're selling like a $3 million
yeah,
house, and
yeah,
it's
like the $5 million houses in,
yes,
like, Beverly Hills, and you, like, get to walk through the house. It's, like, so much it's, like, fun to see.
exactly. I think like content like that is so engaging, and like it definitely works very well with a marketing perspective
Mhm.
because it's like it keeps the people engaged throughout the video, and it's not just like a oh I don't really want to watch this. It's just a normal house
Yeah,
tour. You
when
know
I
what I
was
mean?
younger, oh my god, I used to watch, like, all the house tours of all, like, the biggest
Mm,
I'd be like, "Wow,
yeah,
they have their own wine fridge and stuff." I'd be so amazed,
yeah,
and that stuff used to be so cool.
yeah. I used to go on Redfin and just scroll through different houses because I just found it so fascinating. I was like, wow, look at all these houses. Like this could be me one day. You know, like I'm gonna have a one million
Yeah, look
dollar house or something.
at this, and then I'd watch, like, the car stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially there's these cars in China that I've seen
Uh-huh.
because like cars in China can't be used in the US for some reason. But
Yeah,
those their cars are so cool. And we got to ride in one actually.
yeah.
And it's like it's kind of like SUV build, but it's so much better than an SUV because like the seats had like this massage setting and it was like cooling and heating. And it had like this little phone thing in the side and it was like real luxury, honestly.
Mm,
Mercedes or whatever could
yeah.
never.
I saw something where, like, SUV type thing was able to drive in water. Like,
Oh yeah.
I saw something like that. Alright, so Jess just texted me, he said something popped up, and I guess I'll just finish the last little bit of the interview. So, to round it off, the show is about empowering the leaders of today and tomorrow. What is some advice you would give our listeners to, like, help them achieve what you've achieved?
So kind of like the round off thing that I've been saying this entire time is be yourself. Honestly, I think the best way to get through to a person or to get what you want is just not putting on that fake stereotypical, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. And instead just being who you want to be.
Mm,
Because people want to vote for a person that they like see themselves in, I
mm,
guess. And
mhm,
I think that's the reason I've gone so far is because I think a lot of people can see themselves in me. They see someone who wants to advocate for others, to help others, and just like be in an environment that's like uplifting, I guess.
mm.
I think that's really important as well. So be yourself and don't let anybody else tell you differently.
Yeah, I definitely completely agree because, like, Um, especially I do TSA. I'm not like anything big in TSA. I'm not like an officer like you guys, but I qualified to nationals, but for mostly for state, like when you listen to a person's speech, you can like tell the type of person they are. And like if someone's like
Exactly.
genuine in their speech and you can like infer the type of person they are, it's like so easy to vote for them. It's like when time comes and our chapter's like who do we vote for? Who do we vote for? It's like this person's name pops up because like oh, they're so genuine. They're
Yeah,
human. Like I see them, I see who they are, I know what they
exactly.
want. And like I try to do that myself a little bit. Like in my interviews, I'm personable. I try not to take myself too seriously either. It's like I just don't really like that. But I definitely see
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah.
Be
I
yourself.
think genuinity will take you a very long time, very
Very far. It'll take you
far.
far.
Yes, there you
Yeah.
go.